Welcome back everyone to another Coach Players video. We're going to be going over a Bronze Trundle top game today. This player was curious about how can they be more consistent in their play. They did really well in this game that they thought, well, how come I can't do this every game? I want to be able to do this every game. So we're going to go through it, see what they're doing correctly, see what they're doing incorrectly, and just see how we can replicate the same type of thing over and over and over again to help climb a little bit faster. So first things first, look at the matchups. We have Trundle into Urgot. Urgot is pretty easy to really deal with. Just at 6, be careful of taking his ultimate to the face, and also just be careful of his flip. So just play around his flip, play around his ultimate, and you should be fine with that lane. Next, we have Master Yi and Hecarim. Now, in this matchup, most likely Hecarim is going to be the weaker one than Master Yi. Master Yi can definitely fight earlier than Hecarim can, so Master Yi may go invade, and if he invades while you're on top side, you want to meet him there. You want to get there before he gets there, so you guys arrive at the same time, if you can. And that way you have a 2v1. You guys kill Hecarim, and you guys can leave. You don't have to worry about their mid laner showing up, their top laner showing up. It's just 2v1, and you guys leave, nothing happens, and it's free to go. And as far as mid lane goes, we have a Vex into Echo. Now, Vex pushes a little bit quicker than Echo early, but once Echo gets some items, he can start out shoving Vex. So we want to make sure that if Echo does start shoving up towards the middle part of the early game, then we know that he's probably looking to go roam, and we got to be very, very careful with how aggressive we're playing, okay? So, recap. Play around in his abilities, dodge the flip and dodge the ultimate. Master Yi, help him if he invades. Vex and Echo, if Echo shoves up, be careful, he might start rotating to you. So very, very easy game here. Now, I did watch a little bit of this game, but and I recorded it, but I had to restart the recording. So I do have a couple of notes. First thing here is we'll see right now, where we're not really respecting his auto attack range, and we're not spacing properly. There's no minions that you actually have to hit right now, but look how close you are to him, and he's just getting free auto attacks onto you. Now, nothing is stopping us from walking back and sitting back here, right? Because if he walks forward, nothing happens, and you're not losing any minions because they're not even close to dying yet. He's actually shoving into you, so you don't really have a reason to be just taking free auto harass. If this guy was a better player, he wouldn't have lunged at you. He would have just kept auto attacking you until you were like half HP, and then he'd fly on you and just kill you. So that's the first thing that I wrote, was just learn spacing from the autos, like from the champions, and then also learn spacing from their abilities. The next thing that I noticed is that we want to pay attention to playing around his abilities. Remember, we don't want to get flipped, but we openly ate the flip, knowing that he probably started E. Now, you might not know that he starts E. It is what it is. But what you have to do is wait until you see an ability come out, and that will tell you what he started, okay? So those are the two things that I wrote from then on. First is pay more attention to your space from champions and their abilities, and then also just learn to play around the enemy's cooldowns. So you play around the flip. If he goes for the flip, he misses, then you go on him. You don't want to eat the flip and then just fight him 1v1. The reason you won that was because this dude didn't understand what he was doing, and he gave you a free kill. Now, it's very hard to be consistent in lower elos because you guys get free kills all the time. Like there's sometimes you just don't earn it. So how do you replicate something you don't earn? You know what I mean? Like, it's very, very hard to do. So that's why when you get kills like that, you have to understand, okay, that dude's just trolling. I don't know what that was. And that way you don't try to pull it off another game, or that way you don't expect to have it another game because you didn't really work for it. Once again, we ate the flip and we didn't have to. If this guy was smarter, he would have just waited until he was about to hit level 2, flip you, and then kill you again. So he had 2 ways he could kill you, and he just doesn't know what he's doing. Now we're in a really, really crap spot where he teleports back, you kind of can't shove the wave, and you're just kind of screwed. If we pay attention to where Hecarim started, which I don't even know what happened. It took that long for them to start. Do I want to know what happened in the beginning of the game? I don't. Anyway, if Hecarim started bot and he started pathing top, he should be somewhere close to you by now. He doesn't have to full clear to gank you. He can just do 3 camps, go red. Oh, there he goes. What in the world? Okay, anyway. That's weird. But you're basically gank bait right now. You don't want to be here. You don't want to be in this spot. This is the danger zone. You need to recall and get some items. I know you're thinking, well, shouldn't I shove the wave first? Because then it'll crash. In this particular instance, you can't. So let's go back to where you killed the guy the first time. Okay. What do we notice after we kill the guy? Right here. If you don't hit it, the wave will freeze or start slow pushing to you. This is one thing kind of about wave management you want to think about. The more minions you have, like, you have to really think, like, if I kill you and I can't shove it and I have more minions than you, it's better that I just let the minions shove into me. When I recall and come back, it should be somewhere in this vicinity and I don't lose out on minions and I don't have to overstay. But because you started clearing the minions, you're forced to overstay and he teleports. And now you're stuck here. And if that jungler was better, which he wasn't, he'd be up here and he would just die to a gank. You know? You're minding your spacing a little bit more now, but I don't think you're minding your spacing because of him. I think you're minding your spacing because of this tower. If you get flipped, you fly into the tower, so you don't want that. But we'll see later into the laning phase if that's what's happening. Okay, we recall. What do we get? Okay, pickaxe and longsword. Are we going to Hullbreaker, I think, first? I'd probably go Tiamat into this guy because he shoves pretty hard. And you want to be able to match his shove. But it's totally up to you. Yeah, you see what I mean? Like, why? Look, that's a lot of minions. Tiamat could just help you keep up with his shotgun legs. Okay, we're just chilling. Cool. You're level 6. This is where you can just all in the guy if he walks up. I like that you're freezing this here. That's good. You're making him have to overextend for it. Now it's starting to slow push. So you have to ask yourself a couple questions. If I get it to slow push, can I dive this guy? Like if there's a big wave, can I dive this guy? Probably not. You're probably not going to dive Urgot. Is Urgot going to come back forward before the wave gets to the tower? Maybe, but we don't really know what he just did. He could have backed. So then we have to ask ourselves, what are we going to do when this big wave crashes into the tower? We could recall. We could do Rift Herald. Or we can go take camps. Now, I understand Rift Herald's not up right now, but this is just hypothetically speaking. So we can go take camps. So when you build a large wave like this, look to do something. So let's see what you do after you build a large wave. What do you... Oh, camera? Okay, what do? You try to all in him. You get flipped. He almost killed you, but you get away with it. Once again, just as I said before, they're playing it so poor, but you get away with it. You have to dodge his abilities. You have to pay attention to what he's doing. He's not even trying to shotgun leg you. Oh, he is. Maybe he was. I don't know. I still feel like he played it poor. He could have whittled you down a little bit before he went all in. Especially you're about to hit level 7. Like, he just played it bad. Now, you have to understand that, though. And you have to learn. Like, wow, he almost killed me. What happened? Oh, I didn't dodge the flip, and I ate a lot of the shotgun shots from his legs. Okay. And you learn from it. That way you don't do it again. Why does the camera keep going on that guy? Once again, we're kind of overstaying. I don't want to see you overstay so much. After you get a kill, or the enemy backs look to do the same. Okay. So after you get a kill or the dude backs, just look to do the same. I don't want to see you overstay so much. A fight breaks out. You're able to actually get kills here. Once again, Hecarim shouldn't even been that behind. He should have been 6. If he was 6, you die there too. And like I said, if Urgot was better, you die there too. This is kind of hard because it's like, it feels like I'm just harping on you. Where it's like, oh, you're just not good enough. That's not really what it is. It's the fact you're being rewarded for not doing the correct thing. You know what I mean? And that's why, like, when I coach, like, elos like this, it's always something that I try to just push into their head. Like, a lot of the times you're getting kills because your champ is super strong and people don't respect it. And so even if you don't play properly, this is good. I like that. Good job. This is really, really good that you go for camps. But even if you don't play properly, you still end up getting ahead and you end up like winning out on it. Right? Look at that. Look at all those kills you're just getting. You saw he's just walking into you? It's like, to really just kind of answer the question here, the only way that you're going to be consistent with a game like this is if the enemy team keeps just like walking into you. You're not really doing anything special that's giving you a lead. It's just a lot of the guy walking into you. Once again, I don't mean that to sound like bad or anything like that. It's just, it is what it is. I do like the fact you are expanding on your lead by taking camps. That's huge, and that's a very, very good job that you're doing. I love that. I want to see you take more caution in your fights, though. A lot of your fights seem very, very brute forced. It seems like I'm not really thinking about how the fight's going. I'm just running at you, bro, and if I kill you, I kill you. If I don't, I don't. Gotta put a little bit more thought process into the decision making. I mean, that was obviously a mistake, right? We shouldn't have dove. We could have let Master Yi dive, and then he Qs to reset aggro. We also could have roamed mid. There's a lot of stuff we could have done here. Alright, so as a top laner, I want to see you take every single Rift Herald. Let's see what you do. Get the Rift. You could take camp, so I know you'll get that Rift. Come on. This is fine. Whether it works out or not is another story, but it's fine that you do it. Alright. Rift. Rift, rift, rift. Rift? I want to see when you do it. You don't do it. Now you do it? Yeah, let's go. Okay, cool. Now, one thing I also noticed is you're only playing to your lane. When you're this big, you can play around the whole entire map. So after you take your tower, look to get dragons, look to get rifts. If you need to split push, split push. Here's how you know when you need to split push. Okay, so you split push to draw attention. That's like the main goal of split pushing, is to draw attention. So when I split push, is there anything on the map that my team can really get? Yes or no? Not right now, right? We got Rift, we're good to go. I don't really have to split push. I'm ahead. Is my team ahead? I'm ahead, my team's ahead. We might as well just go group together, right? You're not really looking for straight up 5v5s, but you're looking to be together. And I know that sounds really, really weird, but you can get a lot of non-5v5 fights with your team. So I want to see that. I want to see you taking like mid tower, bot tower, like really expand your lead after you break your tower. It's okay to go back to your lane to defend and clear the waves, but you know, you see kind of how your team's doing work, but you're dead. You really got to play with them. You're playing your own game right now, and then you got to play with your team a little bit more. So we'll say, play more for your team, especially when you have a lead. Look to get more towers and rifts / dragons. Use that lead. Now you can go back top and doing what you're doing now because nothing's really happening. I wouldn't say shove up to this tower because like I said, nothing's really happening. But when it comes to dragons and stuff like that, or you have rift, look to go mid, look to go bot to get the towers, look to get dragon, and when everything's done and there's nothing else to do, then go back top and do your thing. Well, dragon's coming up right now, so we can just make our way to drag after we shove this way. Or what we can do is we can use rift top while our team goes to get drag. Let's see what you do. Okay, well our team just died. So you did the right thing, but your team did the wrong thing. And we let them do the wrong thing. We know dragon is coming up. You have to ping assist, 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 do dragon, do dragon, do dragon. You can't really just let them be stupid. So, micro manage your team a bit more. Make sure they focus more on objectives. If it looks like they're doing something stupid, then they probably are. We know dragon's coming up. Like, guys, what are you doing? What is this, guys? Like, what? Why would we do this? We have no wave, so if we kill you, we don't get tower. Maybe we get a baron, but like, come on, just go to dragon and have that fight there, right? So what I would want to see is like, careful, careful, careful. Dragon, dragon. On my way top with rift or some shit like that, you know? Just anything, anything. Because remember, to be the carry, it's not enough to have a whole bunch of kills. You actually have to know how to control your team. You have to know what decisions they should be making and stuff like that. And it looks looks like it's game. All right. So once again, it's very hard to tell you how to replicate what you just did because you didn't really earn your lead. They just handed it to you. You got first blood. Actually, if you didn't have that first blood and you didn't buy, Urgot probably would have straight up killed you. Now that I think about it. So, yeah. I know that sounds bad, but it's hard to replicate something if they're just giving you stuff. If you're not doing the things properly, this is why it seems inconsistent. Because when you go against someone who knows what they're doing, you don't perform as well. When you have a team that completely sucks and you're not telling them to get dragons and barons, you know, you're gonna end up losing your games. If you have a team that sucks, but you're super fed and you know I can split push while you guys do dragon, wait for them to come to me, and you don't tell them that, once again, you're gonna lose your games. So you have to clean up a little bit more of your play in terms of team play. What we want to do though is we want to, I'm gonna write homework here. So the homework for us is going to be pay more attention, like just to play around the enemy's cooldowns. Like I said, a lot of the times you're trying to brute force your way into the fight. You're brute forcing your way, like just literally smacking them. There's no movement of going side to side. There's no thought process. Pretty much you pillar up, you ult, and then you just go ham. And if you kill them, you kill them. If you don't, dang, I died. It's got to be more thought process to it. It has to be like, okay, you're going to jump at me, so let me bait it, and then I'll just attack you after, and I get a free kill. You know, this person's in my A, let me be careful because they're probably going to come kill me. Little things like that will help you a lot before you take those engages. And then, like I said, I want to see you just have a little bit more emphasis once you have your lead on taking dragons, on taking rift heralds, on taking towers with your team. I want to see more of that. Now, you don't have to group all the time, right? This is just saying when your dragon's coming up, don't just sit top. Go get the dragon, fight with your team. Maybe break a tower down mid. Then you can go back up top and do your thing. And then once you notice another team fight's probably about to break out, you got to go down there and do something. You know what I mean? So really get used to balancing split pushing and team play at the same time. And then the last thing here is just kind of fix your team micromanaging, which means don't allow them to be stupid. Pretty much that's what it is. Don't play your own game and just have your team run around like monkeys. You really do have to start pinging them. You really do have to start telling them what to do. Let me see how many pings you did this game. Where are your pings? You didn't ping one time. In the past, how many minutes is this? In the past, 4 or 5 minutes? You didn't ping anything. That's crazy, isn't it? That goes to show you're not really helping control your team. You're letting them walk around doing stupid stuff, and if you do your thing by split pushing, getting this, good job, and you basically ignore your whole team. If you can't split push and you can't get your nexus like this, you don't really know what to do. That's because, once again, they're just giving you free stuff. You really have to clean that up. So that way, when we get our lead, it's because we earned it. That guy made a mistake, and I'm going to get him. Not, I'm going at this guy, and then the guy just straight up dies because he misplays. Big difference. Big difference between him misplaying and you actually outsmarting them. Right? If it's the right decision, it's the right decision. And that's what it comes down to, especially with top lane. So I hope this helped. I'm sorry I couldn't give you like the advice you're probably looking for. But like I said, those guys definitely just kind of gave you a free lead, and those guys basically let you just walk down the whole entire top lane. And that's not something that players usually do. So that's why you're not really having as much consistency. Getting away with that. But as I said, propelling your lead with these camps, smart. Grabbing Rift Herald, smart. You're doing things that you need to do on a macro standpoint. But I want to see you take that same thought process when you're dealing with fights. I want to see you take that same thought process when you're choosing to split push or choosing to rotate and flank. I want you to have that same thought process when your team's doing something stupid. You're like, bro, no. What are you guys doing? I want to see that process that you just had with these camps and with this rift, with the same thing with your team. Play more for winning the game, and really getting these objectives, and play for the right reason. Fight for the right reason. Don't just run it down and just slap people up, okay? So if this helped, like I said before, if you got any questions, feel free to ask. If anybody is interested in coaching, coachbucket.com is where you want to go. Use the code FIRST in order to get $5 off of your first lesson or first font, whatever you guys want to do on my site. Thank you guys for watching. Until next time, you want to always say thank you for what? Approaching this like a coach. Have a good rest of your day and night, guys.